Namaskar. Sikkim, a biodiversity hotspot with 0.2% of the geographical area of the country, harbors one-fourth of its biodiversity wealth. The state has 7 sanctuaries and 1 national park, thereby contributing to about 31% of its area under protected area network, which is the highest statewide percentage in the country. Khangchendzonga National Park, the only national park of the state, with expanse from North District to West District, nestled in the lap of the Himalayas, occupies more than a quarter of our state's total geographical area, with one of the world's widest altitudinal range of 1220 meter to 8586 meter. The Khangchendzonga National Park houses an extraordinary range of subtropical to alpine ecosystem. This unique mosaics of various vegetation types and ecosystem is rare to be found within such a small area. The Mount Khangchendzonga, which is situated inside the park, is venerated as the guardian deity by the local communities. The unique landscape of the national park thus form the habitat for several rare and endangered Himalayan species and harbor a fascinating assemblage of cultural elements of the ethnic groups who have maintained their traditional identities, cultures, and religious practices till the date. Envisaging this outstanding universal value of natural and cultural features of the national park, the UNESCO World Heritage Committee, during its 40th session at Istanbul, Turkey in 2016, approved the inscription of Khangchendzonga National Park on the coveted UNESCO World Heritage List under mixed criteria. It is also pertinent to state here that KNP is the only national park of the country figuring in the UNESCO World Heritage Site under mixed category. Further, the national park constitutes the core area of Khangchendzonga Biosphere Reserve, which is included in the World Network of Biosphere Reserve under the UNESCO's Man and the Biosphere program in July 2018. The state government, with its integrated pro-environmental approach, is determined to take all the necessary steps to maintain the sanctity of this unique landscape and bolster the preservation and conservation effort in coordination with the local stakeholders for a holistic, sustainable development. Jai Hind, Jai Sikkim.
Sikkim, a hilly northeastern Indian state, is blessed with rich natural and cultural resources. It is landlocked, having internationally bordered by Nepal, China, and Bhutan to the west, north, and east, respectively. Sikkim is the least populous, and with total area of 7,096 square kilometers, it is the second smallest among the Indian states. Nearly 31% of the state's total geographical area falls in protected area network. With 7 wildlife sanctuaries and 1 national park, Sikkim has the highest statewide percentage of protected area network in terms of its total geographical area. The iconic Khangchendzonga National Park, or the KNP, spreads along the north and west districts of Sikkim, with 3 ranges, Chungthang and Zonggu in north and Yuksum in west. These protected area status preserves its cultural uniqueness, both tangible and intangible, and conserves its exceptional aesthetic value and biodiversity. With the world's widest altitudinal range, KNP comprises unique geomorphic features of snow-clad mountains, including the world's 3rd highest peak, the Mount Khangchendzonga, which literally means the great snowy repository of 5 treasures: salt, gold and turquoise, Buddhist scriptures, arms, medicines, and seeds.
KNP has a vertical sweep of over 7,000 meters, starting with the altitude of 1,220 meters to 8,586 meters within an area of only 1,784 square kilometers. KNP has an extraordinary range of subtropical to alpine ecosystems. This mosaic of various vegetation types and ecosystems is one of the widest altitudinal range within such a small area.
The Khangchendzonga Biosphere Reserve, or KBR, of the state is the highest biosphere reserve in the country that has been included in the UNESCO's World Network of Biosphere Reserve. KBR comprises 41% of the entire geographical area of Sikkim. Out of the total 2,931 square kilometers area of KBR, 1,784 square kilometers is the core area designated for transboundary wildlife protection as the KNP. The southern and central landscape of KBR, which makes up 86% of the core area, is situated in the Greater Himalayas. The northern part of the area accounts for 14%, is characterized by trans-Himalayan features.
There are 2 primary roads access to the Khangchendzonga National Park, which is also the starting point for trekking, mountaineering, and other adventurous activities. Yuksum in West Sikkim is located about 145 kilometers distance from the capital town Gangtok. Yuksum is a historical town and the first capital of Sikkim, established in the year 1642. The coronation site of the first monarch of Sikkim, popularly known as the throne of Norbugang, is still intact at Yuksum. The first monastery in Sikkim, established in 1701, the Dubdi Monastery, which is a part of the Buddhist pilgrimage circuit, is located in Yuksum.
Similarly, Lachen, which means a big pass to locals in North Sikkim, popular for its Green Lake Trek, is situated about 125 kilometers from Gangtok at an elevation of 2,750 meters. Lachen also forms the base to the scenic Chopta Valley and the serene Guru Dongmar Lake at 5,200 meter altitude. Over 1,100 square kilometers buffer area of KNP is being developed primarily to promote ecotourism activities in the region. Tourism-related activities such as running pack animals, portering, guiding, and homestay management have become major economic activities and now determine the way of life. The Green Lake Trek in North Sikkim offers the majestic view of the snow-clad mountain peaks, taking visitors to the sprawling green landscape dotted with few alpine trees and a serene glacial lake. The upper Adit tracts lying in the rain shadow area includes parts of the Trans-Himalayan zone, widely known as Cold Desert, a southern extension of the Tibetan Plateau.
Similarly, the famous Yuksum Zongri Gochela trek in West Sikkim offers spectacular views of the Mount Khangchendzonga. The trek winds through pristine oak, rhododendron, and fir forests before opening up into the vast expanse of alpine meadows. The trek begins from Yuksom, which is at an elevation of 1,780 meters, follows a gradual climb to Choka through the dense subtropical forest, which is a home to several majestic wildlife. Further, the trek turns to Zongri via a steep ascent to the Alp of Phedang. The riot of colors of several species of rhododendrons in blossom, combined with a diversity of flowering species of orchids and green, rolling grasslands against the backdrop of bright snow-capped peaks, presents a panoramic scenery. This beauty is heightened further by myriads of hues displayed by fluttering birds and butterflies. One can reach Zongri top and take in the panoramic view of mighty Khangchendzonga and associated peaks.
The trail continues to Gochala en route to Sangsing and Samiti Lake that encircles a beautiful alpine meadow. The trek to Gochala continues further embellished with several small glacial lakes. The majestic snow leopard, the Himalayan monal, red panda, Tibetan argali, Tibetan gazelle, Tibetan wolf, Tibetan sandfox, blue sheep are few of hundreds of species that enrich various niches in this unique hill range. The emerald waters of 18 high-altitude lakes dot this snow-clad hill range. Numerous waterfalls which cascade down the hill slopes with their sonorous music also create hundreds of rainbows as the sun rays filter through the valleys between lofty hills. Though KNP has less than 0.1% of the total area of India, it houses a significant 124 species of mammals of the estimated 400 mammal species found in India. Over 300 species of birds and 400 species of butterflies have been reported in KNP. KNP forms a part of the endemic bird area of the eastern Himalaya, which has at least 127 bird species of conservation concern, including globally threatened and restricted range species. With its geographical location and stunning variation, especially in altitude and rainfall, is a storehouse of many rare and endangered flora and fauna. Pastoralism, collection of medicinal and aromatic plants together with subsistence hunting and gathering were the main livelihoods prevalent in the KNP traditionally.
पहिले नेशनल पार्क भित्र हाम्रो आगो जलाउँथ्यो, दाउरा काटेर खाना पकाउँथ्यो, प्लास्टिकहरु सबै जतासुकै फ्याँक्थ्यो र नेशनल पार्क भएको देखि यता चाहिँ हामीले धेरै चेन्जेसहरु आएको देख्यौं.
To the people of Sikkim, the mountain has been specially generous. Its physical presence makes Sikkim a self-contained unit, provided with everything required to sustain life, biodiversity, fertile valleys, abundant streams, protected geography, and elaborate mythology.
जंगलबाट अब जति सक्दो अब जस्तै अब हामीले डिपेन्डेन्समा भन्दाखेरि अब जस्तै हामीले अब फलफुल सब्जीहरु टिप्दा पनि च्याउहरू पाउँछौं, निङ्गुरे पाउँछौं, सिस्नु पाउँछौं हामीले. अन्त त्यही हाम्रो डिपेन्ड छ। जस्तै फलफुलमा जस्तै अब यो मेलहरू पाउँछौँ, त्यो पम्सीहरू पाउँछौँ, एभोकाडो।
The earliest known occupants of the foothills of Mount Khangchendzonga were the Lepchas. The Lepcha story of origin states that the Lepcha progenitors were crafted from the fresh snows of Mount Khangchendzonga. Sikkim history relates the initial 13th century ritual of blood brotherhood sworn between the Lepchas and the Bhutias, where Khangchendzonga was invoked to witness their alliance.
The region is described in Buddhist texts as a paradise on earth where all communities worshipped Khangchendzonga as a secular mountain god. From the early 1700s, with the performance of Panglapsol, offering to the witness god has become Sikkim's most important indigenous ritual honoring its guardian deities. As a mark of honor, ascent to the peak of Mount Khangchendzonga is forbidden. Panglapsol is held annually on the 15th day of the 7th lunar month at all the major monasteries across the state.
र आज कञ्चनजङ्घा नेसनल पार्क है एउटा वर्ल्ड हेरिटेजमा इन्क्लुड भएको कारणले गर्दा हामीले यो सोच्छौँ कि आज हामीले कल्चर है हाम्रो ट्रेडिसनहरू पनि कसरी प्रिजर्भ गर्ने है र त्यही सम्झेर आज हामी बिहान हामी तपाईको लुन्चोक पुग्यो जहाँ चाहिँ पूजा परफर्म हुँदै थियो है ब्लड ब्रदर्स जुन चाहिँ टाई उयो भएको थियो त्यहाँ गएर अघि पुगेर आयौँ र सेकेन्ड हामी फेन्सङ गुम्पा गयौँ अघि हामी लाब्राङ गुम्पामा अहिले हामी फुदुङ गुम्पामा छौँ र है र यो प्रकारले पनि एउटा केएनपी डिभिजनबाट पनि हाम्रो फरेस्टको केएनपी डिभिजनबाट पनि अब हामी यो चिजलाई चाहिँ हाइलाइट गर्नु खोज्दैछौँ है यो चिजलाई चाहिँ आउटसाइड वर्ल्डलाई पनि हामी चिनाउने हामी कोसिस गर्दैछौँ ताकि हाम्रो यो जुन चाहिँ पङ्लाप्सो पनि एउटा इट्स अ फेस्टिभल है यस्तो खालके फेस्टिभल छ है यो चाहिँ एउटा हाम्रो फरेस्ट डिपार्टमेन्टले एउटा महत्त्वपूर्ण है इम्पोर्टेन्ट फेस्टिभलको रूपमा लिएको छ र वी वान्टेड टु इन्क्लुड हाम्रो फरेस्टको एउटा हाम्रो आफ्नै क्यालेन्डरहरू छ त्यसमा पनि हामी आउँदो दिनमा इन्क्लुड गर्ने यो दिनलाई पनि
During this ritual, an apology is issued for misdeeds committed against the nature.
हामीले यो जस्तै भेसे भनिन्छ यो भेसे चाहिँ माथि गेन्टोक चुक्लाखाङ फोडादेखि उहाँले त्यहाँ अब पेमायाङचीमा पुर्याउनुहुन्छ पेमायाङचीमा पुर्याए पश्चात हामीले अब हिजोको दिन अब बोकेर चाहिँ अब जस्तै पुल खोला नाला झरा जहीँ पनि हामी सादा डिडो जहाँ जहाँ छ हामीले त्यहाँ बाँधेर चाहिँ हिमालतर्फ यानि कि माथि कञ्चनजङ्घापट्टि हामी उता लाग्छौँ र हाम्रो यो गर्नुको मेन उद्देश्य चाहिँ विभिन्न प्रकारको रोगहरू हटेर जाओस् र हाम्रो यो संसारलाई सुख प्राप्त होस् भनी हामी पाङलाप्सोल मनाउनुको मेन उद्देश्य चाहिँ यो हो भनिन्छ.
Centuries old Tholung Monastery, located in remote Upper Zongo within the Khangchendzonga Biosphere Reserve, is considered one of the most sacred monasteries in Sikkim. Tholung literally means Ersima country. The monastery includes unique and prized manuscripts and relics from other monasteries which were placed there for protection at the time of outer invasion during the 17th century and early 19th century.
Among the cultural festivals unique to the region, the Bhumchu or sacred water vase ritual held at Tasiding Monastery in West Sikkim at fringe of KNP draws the largest attendance of pilgrims. Bhumchu is about a divine vase believed to have been made following the instructions of Guru Padma Sambhava, held annually on the night before the full moon day of the first month of Tibetan calendar, usually falling in February or early March. The holy vase is believed to predict the future for Sikkim in particular and the world at large.
To generate revenue without damaging the environment, focus is on developing ecotourism among potential natural and places of religious importance. The Forest and Environment Department has involved communities by forming eco-development committees and volunteer Himal Rakshaks or volunteer mountain guardians to have regular monitoring in KNP. Himal Rakshaks or Mountain Guardian, notified in the year 2006, is a voluntary effort by the individuals who have been acclimatized to the extreme high altitude weather conditions, coordinate and cooperate with forest field staff in carrying out regular monitoring and patrolling activities inside Khangchendzonga National Park. It is unique and exclusive to western part of KNP, that is Yoksam. The department and local NGOs like KCC are working together to tackle the prevalent solid waste management and other environmental issues. In a pioneer step in reducing plastic pollution, garbage bags are issued to the visitors to ensure all the waste generated during the trek are brought back to the checkpost, which are later segregated and managed further. There is a symbiotic relationship between the locals and the forests.
केएनपीबाट आएको प्लान्टेसनहरू भयो, अब हाम्रो गाउँको एडिसीले हाम्रै कम्युनिटीहरू मिलेर गर्दैछौँ अहिलेसम्म। अन्त धेरै प्रकारको अब उयो भइरहेको छ, सपोर्ट पाइरहेको छ केएनपीबाट। अन्त त्यो मात्रै नभएर अझै सिन्टेक्सहरू भयो, अन्त इयरली अलैँचीको बिरुवा, सिलिन्डर ग्यास चुल्हाहरू सबै कुराहरू इयरली अब पाइरहेको छौँ।
The visionary and integrated approach of the Management Authority, the Forest and Environment Department, Government of Sikkim, is committed to protect the natural and cultural landscapes, sustaining the outstanding universal values of the sacred Khangchendzonga landscape.
The Khangchendzonga National Park is a World Heritage Site now. The UNESCO has a very elaborate procedure to include any particular site in the list of the World Heritage Sites, and for that you should have that particular element must have those values. And in case of Khangchendzonga National Park, the outstanding universal values, OUVs, it subscribes to those values, and those OUVs are possessed by this great location that is called Khangchendzonga National Park. Khangchendzonga National Park, in fact, I can say that it is the identity for the state of Sikkim, and it is the pride of the state, and it is the deity, it is the guardian deity for the state of Sikkim, for the Sikkimese people per se.
By fulfilling the nomination criteria under both natural and cultural heritage, the KNP has been inscribed as India's first mixed World Heritage Site. The 40th session of the UNESCO World Heritage Committee at a meeting in Istanbul, Turkey, granted approval for the inscription of India's on the coveted UNESCO World Heritage List.
May I congratulate India on behalf of the entire committee for this inscription.
This prestigious recognition of both KNP and KBR from UNESCO is a matter of honor for Sikkimese people and nation per se.
Sikkim, Though small in geographical spread, with its integrated pro-environmental governance, has created lofty identity in global arena in terms of holistic sustainable development. The conservation decisions taken by the state government in prioritizing conservation action has definitely ensured the trust of many. The visions are clear, but it's just a beginning.